Mustafa Kemal Atatürk wasn't just a military hero, he was a visionary nation builder. Born in 1881 in Salonika, then part of the Ottoman Empire, he rose to prominence as a brilliant commander during World War I, especially at Gallipoli. But his true legacy began after the Ottoman collapse. Refusing to accept foreign domination and the partition of his homeland, Ataturk led the Turkish War of Independence and abolished the Sultanate in 1922. In 1923, he founded the Republic of Turkey, becoming its first president. Over the next 15 years, he transformed a crumbling empire into a secular, modern nation-state through sweeping reforms in education, law, language, and governance. Ataturk's vision was clear: to build a sovereign, modern Turkey that could stand shoulder to shoulder with the West without losing its unique identity. His leadership style, charismatic, strategic, and uncompromising, echoes through Turkish society even today.
Welcome to Echoes of Power, where the legends of the past confront the challenges of modern American politics. In every episode, we tackle 4 daring questions about power, unity, corruption, and legacy. Or to say it more provocative, is American politics guided by principles, or just power and profit? When wealth equals influence and exile from the tax code, what remains of political integrity?
If you were leading the United States today, how would you balance strong leadership with democratic checks and balances?
A state without strong leadership drifts like a ship without a captain. But a captain who ignores the map and the crew is simply steering toward disaster. When I rebuilt my nation, I centralized power to execute reforms quickly, but I also built institutions to outlive me. Leadership is not about hoarding power. It's about using it to create a system that doesn't depend on your name. In your country, I see leaders who either hide behind procedure, afraid to lead, or bulldoze institutions for personal gain. Both are forms of weakness. A leader must have the courage to act decisively within a framework that can restrain him later. That is real strength. I didn't abolish the Sultan only to become one myself. You cannot claim to defend democracy if you treat its checks as obstacles instead of anchors.
The U.S. is deeply polarized. From your perspective, what is the best way to unite a divided nation?
Division is a symptom. When people no longer believe the state represents them, they retreat into tribes. In my time, the empire had collapsed. Factions were everywhere: religious, ethnic, regional. I didn't unite them by asking politely. I set a clear vision: one secular republic, equal citizens, no exceptions. Those who joined were part of the future. Those who didn't were left in the past. Today, I see nations begging for consensus instead of leading toward it. Unity doesn't come from endless debates. It comes from building shared institutions, education, and a civic identity that's stronger than party colors. If every citizen salutes a different flag, you no longer have a country. You have a crowded argument.
Do kleptocrats make a nation great, or do they destroy it?
A thief wearing a crown does not become a king. He simply steals more efficiently. Kleptocrats hollow out nations from within. They drape themselves in flags while emptying the treasury. They build palaces while schools crumble. I led soldiers through trenches. Today's power-hungry men lead accountants through loopholes. Great nations are built on discipline, not greed. When leaders use the state as their private vault, they turn citizens into customers and eventually into beggars. Kleptocracy doesn't just rob wealth, it robs dignity. History buries such regimes under the weight of their own corruption. I didn't fight empires to enrich a few. I fought to give a people their future.
Looking at today's social and technological changes, AI, climate challenges, shifting global power. What advice would you give to ensure a lasting legacy?
Legacy is not built on reacting to trends. It is built by shaping the future before others define it for you. When I introduced the Latin alphabet, it wasn't because it was fashionable. It was because I wanted my nation to look forward, not backward. Today's leaders chase headlines instead of horizons. AI, climate, global power, these are not talking points. They are tectonic shifts. A true leader would prepare institutions, education systems, and laws to harness these forces, not just regulate them after the damage is done. If you want a legacy, stop treating the future like a problem and start treating it like a project. Statues crumble, systems endure.